Okay, good evening and welcome. If you're new here, I'm Brian. I'm a meditation teacher for the Inner Journey School, and I'm going to be reading Peter Smith's book. This is a book written by Ben Smith's father, my spiritual teacher, and he has a YouTube channel you can check out. He's also the leader of the Inner Journey School. And so I'm going to read chapter 1 of this book. Starting off, the heavy is the root of the light. Stillness is the Lord of all movement. Lao Tzu. Chapter 1, the 3 columns. There are 3 basic concepts to use in conjunction with the spiritual and self-improvement practices that come later. By that I mean the mental approaches to use that garner the best rewards whilst undertaking your tasks. The foundations below your work. We call them the 3 columns. Whatever you do, be it mantra, prayer, meditation, contemplation, or whatever you want to achieve in your life, use the 3 columns to underpin your actions. The 3 columns are focus, aspiration, and affirmation. Put another way, focus the mind, aspire to reach or become that which you seek, and affirm to yourself that you can and will do it. They are the tools for manifestation. First is focus. The first column. Focus seems to be an obvious attribute, but the development of true focus is a tool which separates the very good from the average. It is a key requisite for personal and spiritual development. My teacher used to say to me that it is better to sit and meditate with a totally focused mind for 10 minutes once a week than to sit for an hour every day for a week with a wavering one. Focus is the ability to concentrate on a single subject to the exclusion of all else. Good focus saves time, which would otherwise be wasted. As a very basic example, if you need to type a letter or email, and as you start to write it, your mind wanders and flicks over to unrelated subjects, it is plain to see that time will be wasted. Whereas if you can keep the mind focused on the subject, then the contemplation of the letter will be quicker and the result better. Think of focus as a magnifying glass. The more intense the focus, the greater the magnification of your efforts. Good focus creates clarity. It reduces the energy which would otherwise be wastefully expended. Our minds can only work on one topic at a time. Therefore, during meditation or working on a task, when the mind fits at fantastic speed from one subject to another, we lose clarity and mental psychic energy is wasted. However, when we can hold a strong focus for longer periods of time, we save that energy. With this increased focus, our relationship to the world about us becomes clearer, less clouded by the constantly changing information of a moving mind. When the mind flits rapidly from one focus to another, it takes up more of our brain's processing time. It is by stilling the busyness of the mind that we free up the energy previously used in processing. During meditation, the freeing up of this psychic energy is the increased clarity which comes from good focus, allows a free flow of internal energy throughout our being. This energy is what enhances spiritual progress. Focus, therefore, also creates the fuel for the journey. Increased focus has the accompanying effect of release. We must let go of other thoughts, considerations, and worries to focus wholly on a subject. This letting go has an important part of spiritual growth. It is an aspirant. You will become aware of letting go of a great deal in your life. Negative aspects of character such as jealousy, anger, and worry will have to take a back seat as focus becomes honed on higher ideals. The negative aspects of our mind, fear, anxiety, worry, etc., are only able to exist if the mind considers them. The more you think about them, the more they grow. When the mind is singularly focused on a meditation, there is nowhere left for those negative aspects to latch on and take hold. No soil for them to grow, so they fall away. They are, after all, just thoughts, and you create them. When you focus elsewhere, they vanish because you are not entertaining them anymore. An important point to understand is that focus does not suddenly appear. You won't miraculously achieve deep focus in your meditation overnight. It is a tough job to make yourself focus after a lifetime of allowing the mind to do what it wants. But it does come, believe me. And if you do it, it will come. Sounds like a field of dreams. When you begin to practice, make the effort to be mindful of what you're doing. This is the start of focus. Eventually, you will be able to hone your focus like a laser beam onto the subject of your attention. As a Tai Chi teacher, one of the most frequently asked questions is, how long before I start to see results? Results in Tai Chi are experiences like the sensation of Chi moving or tingling in the hands. The answer I always give is this. It is different for everybody, but the main thing it depends on is your focus. If you want to learn to chop wood, I can give you an axe, take you to the wood, and show you the technique. But how much wood you would chop down is up to you. One student might swing half-heartedly a couple of times and then say, "Oh my God, I have a blister," and stop. The next student might hit the wood as if his life depended on it and not stop his frenzied cutting for 2 hours. So you get the picture. It is the same with focus. You get what you put in. So hone your focus. It's an improvable commodity. Aspiration. The second column. Aspiration is the urge which comes from inside to achieve things, to reach for our dreams. Aspiration is the little child desperately wanting to become a pilot. The motive for aspiration can be derived from something deep and emotional inside us, or it can come from something trivial and external. I remember seeing some people windsurfing when I was on holiday. It was an idyllic summer's day, and we were on a small powerboat enjoying a tour around a harbor. 3 windsurfers sailed by us on their boards, shooting across the waves. As they did, a young lady took her hand off the boom and waved at us. That was it. From that moment, I was hooked, and I knew I had to become a windsurfer. I aspired to become one, and a year later, I did. To achieve anything in life, we must find that aspiration. We must want to do it. Aspiration surges us forward. Its all-engulfing nature dwarfs any roadblocks and slides effortlessly over them. Like a tsunami, the power of your aspiration is unstoppable. To become a good person, we need a reason, an urge to become better. Maybe I want to reach an ideal. Maybe I want to become a better person for those around me. I might just want to emulate someone I admire. Whatever it is, you must find that something, that spark of inspiration that makes you aspire. Aspiration can be enhanced by visualizing what you want to achieve. See what you want to achieve in your mind. See yourself doing it, being it, feeling it. Hold the image, and you will move toward it. Manifest it. Aspiration has wings. It carries us up off the floor into the sky. It puts wheels on the wagon and rolls us forward. Without aspiration, our focus would be short-lived. When the tough times come, and they will, there are learning times. If we don't hold on to our aspiration and focus on it, the dream will soon disappear and we will quit. Lift your eyes towards your target and yearn for it. A powerful way to increase aspiration is to offer it up to God. The ultimate aspiration in yoga is to want to become one with the divine. Aspire high. Affirmation. The third column. Affirmation is positively reminding yourself that you can reach that which you aspire to, saying, I can run the marathon. It is a positive affirmation. It creates self-belief. We need self-belief in our spirituality, just as we do in any endeavor in life. Self-belief bonds and augments the aspects of focus and aspiration into action, turning your efforts into achievements. It also speeds up the journey and gives it longevity. It isn't arrogance. It's just a calm belief that we can and will reach that which we aspire to. If you aspire to become one with God, affirmation is reminding yourself that you already are one with God, even though you aren't yet aware of it. To do this, yogis use the phrase Tat Tvam Asi, which they repeat as a mantra. It means, I am that. This phrase's origin can be traced to Chandogya Upanishad, in which it translates to, this Atman, divine spark, is Brahman, God. They are reminding themselves that they are divine. This is affirmation. Affirmation is a mantra, constantly repeating that I can, I will, I am. In a sense, you already are that which you are going to become or achieve, you just haven't done it yet. By using affirmation, you are crying out to the universe, I will become this. When you visualize, know that you will become what you picture. Massive action. There is another aspect of the three columns without which the columns are redundant, and that is action. In any endeavor, you cannot be passive, you must act. Talking about meditation is nice, watching somebody else meditate is nice, and reading about it is nice. Watching lots of meditation on YouTube is great, but you will not move 1 inch until you take the time to sit down and do it. Growth is created by the repetition of action. If you sit down to meditate once and then don't do it again, you won't grow. Consistent, massive action is the only way to create permanent change. Have you ever watched a bird take off? At the beginning, there is a huge amount of flapping required for the bird to raise up its body from the earth and into the sky. You may have noticed once it's up in the sky, the effort required is a lot less as it soars around on the natural thermals. Without the massive effort at the start, the bird would never leave the ground. Massive action is required for us to reach our goals, and in this situation, spiritual growth is the goal. Yes, in a divine paradox, we are already that which we wish to reach. However, we will never realize that without massive effort, particularly in the beginning. It is the early massive effort that takes us from our current situation on the ground to a new set of habits in the sky. Once we are operating in the new arena, the sky, less effort is required to keep us there because a change will have taken place in us. Vehicles. The most important practices for spiritual growth are the 3 vehicles. It always seems to be in threes, doesn't it? The vehicles are meditation, mantra, and prayer. They are called vehicles because they are methods of transporting you from your current state to a higher one. As with any vehicle, when the long, hard journey is done and you sit comfortably at your destination, then you should get out and leave your vehicle behind. The vehicles are just tools, that's all. In the next few chapters, we will discover how to drive the vehicles properly. The vehicles, although different, are linked. They have similarities and they are interchangeable. Some people can't meditate, they hate it, but they can mantra all day, and with such focus, they can charge upward spiritually. The trick is to find your best method of transport. Within each vehicle, there are different makes, different types of practice. Try them all briefly and then start with one you find most comfortable. After a while, move on to the others. If one vehicle doesn't ring your bell, then leave it and pursue the other 2 with all your vigor. You may find as you develop over months and years, if you revisit that vehicle that you had trouble with, it may be more accommodating the second time around. Regularly return and retry. Sometimes a particular practice becomes stale. If this happens for several weeks, then try another one. but a word of warning. Don't just give up when the going gets tough. The journey is molding you. So sometimes, for a period, things will be hard. If you work through and through, that's where the gold is. Only swap practices if for many weeks you have struggled and are ready to quit. There is a fine line in recognizing when a practice has become stale, or if it is merely a testing period that is leading to a breakthrough. Usually it is best to assume that you are passing through a testing time and stick with the practice. However, if you do become so demotivated that you are prepared to stop and give up, then swap and try another vehicle. Alternatively, stop doing that make of vehicle which irritates you and sit in another one for a while. Thank you.